Here's a copy of Classics Illustrated, number 9, Les Miserables. I've always had a tough time pronouncing this. I read this comic book first when I was a little kid, probably first or second grade, and this is a great cover. I mean, this is the type of cover that makes an elementary school kid want to read a Classics Illustrated. I mean, there are a lot of graphic novels right now that do classic literature, and panel by panel, the illustrations might be better than some of the simple drawings from this old comic book. But I think these old comic books tell the story a lot better than a lot of comic books and graphic novels today. All right, so let's get started with this. I don't want to ramble on too much. All right, this came out, I think, in the 1940s. This used to belong to my dad, and he had a collection of these classic comic books, and I'd read them on summer days when there wasn't much to do. You guys, I grew up in the 70s, and there were 3 television stations, no cable TV, no internet. So if the electricity went out, then you read books. And even better than reading a book would be reading comic books. And these are always kind of interesting, these classics. Look at that graphic. It's a good graphic. And I said Les Miserables when I was a kid because this main character right here, Jean Valjean, and that's how I pronounced it, Jean Valjean. But he looked pretty miserable, and I thought he was just trying to become less miserable. And then I found out that, oh yeah, it's in French. But I still resort to, look at this. Even if you're not reading the comic book, I mean, you can tell what's going on, you know? You know exactly, a first grader knows exactly what is going on. And you know, you read some stuff, okay, so his name is Jean Valjean, and then you see what happens, okay, that's pretty brutal. And then, oh man, this guy's a stud. Now, normally I don't condone that kind of behavior. You get shot anyways. But, it's like 3 more years, I mean, I'm not laughing at his plight. It's just well, what did you think was going to happen to you, you know? And then it says right here, when he finally is released by law, he has served 19 years for stealing 1 loaf of bread. Okay, even though I was in first grade, all right, I knew, you know, if you do that, even if the guy's torturing you, if you do that, the government is going to increase your sentence. I mean, come on. And then when he finally is released, so it's 19 years, right? So this guy, when he's released, he's going to be close to 40 years old. And okay, see, I understand Get Out. And then, and one thing I've always wondered is how accurate some of these classic comic books are. And I know because I've read a lot of classic literature. How do I put this? I've read classic literature because I liked the classic comic books. Okay, so in first grade, I understand what happens here. I didn't read this one. I bought a copy. Hold on a second. I bought this when I was in 6th or 7th grade. And I know that because I bought it in Chattanooga, and that's when I lived in Tennessee. But, you know, I realized it was abridged. I didn't want to read an abridged copy because, you know, I'm just not that type. And then I saw what the original looked like. I thought, oh man, there's no way. There's no way I'm reading that. All right, so I see what's going on here. And then and then I see what happens, okay, and I understood that part. One thing I realized about these classic comics, you gotta read this. You had to read, because you'll see that there'll be a lot of important information in panels like this. But just from that, I know what's going on, right? And then you can tell what's going on here. But see, if I have to take a test on this book, am I better off reading the comic book or doing Cliff Notes or Spark Notes? Because I don't do that. I don't do stuff like that. Or watching the movie or sitting through a musical. Now see, this guy is a stud, man. Look at that. Saves kids from the fire. All right, oops, sorry about the finger. And so in the following years, okay, this is really important. There is a very, very important information here. Where is it? When the factory finds that its orders for a vital product are cut off, he discovers a substitute that in short time makes him very rich. All right, so that explains why Jean Valjean, or how Jean Valjean goes from this to, and I know it's not Jean Valjean, in first grade I didn't know French. I didn't know how to do French pronunciations. Good God, I still have a tough time talking. And so you read that. Oh no, the grim form of Jeffrey, that jerk. So he's showing up again. As I was saying, am I better off reading this comic book? Like if I absolutely have to take a test about that's a cool picture. It tells you everything you need to know. Not everything, but it tells you a lot. And then we have another. Now see, this guy has to be in his 40s, right? And I had major back surgery for doing less than what this guy did. Man, I would not want to have a back surgery in the 1800s or late 1700s. All right, so what a jerk. All right, so you got to read these so you get information. And then, okay, so you understand what's going on there. And you might have to read a little bit more, but I understood. And then, okay, so she is she. And then that's where Cosset is introduced. And so we've got more. And then I might not have read all that when I was in first grade, but then, okay, now I understood this, right? He announced this innocent guy was going to be put in prison, and so he does the honorable thing, and so the man's innocent, and then he goes back to prison. I mean, come on, man. What a jerk. And so once again, he has a chance for escape, or to do something good. Sorry, he does something good first, and then uses it, so we understand that, and then he uses it for escape. So first grader understands this perfectly, and then you got to read this, right? And then, okay, so I know he's going back to a new place, I understand that, and then, Ms. Whiskers. See, that's pretty bad when your wife towers over you like that, man, you know, stay away. And so, man, that artist knows how to draw, never mind. I was going to say a hideous woman, but he draws some hideous guys too. And so, read that. Oh. Got something going on with my throat there. I hope you don't hear the gulps. All right, so seems a little slow maybe for a moment. Understand. Oh, what a jerk. But this is kind of where it gets interesting. And so, I don't know if you're reading the Spark Notes or Cliff Notes, you know, I don't know if you actually get into the story. Like, I got into the story when I was a kid, reading this. I mean, this is interesting stuff, right? And, okay, now he's starting to look old. All right, so he's still going to be a stud, though. When they finally get him, where is it? Come on. Okay, because they're plotting against him, right? He hears the plot, and where's he gonna walk into the trap? So he's gonna walk into and of course, went straight to the wrong guy. Come on, I know there's a trap in here somewhere. So you got all those hooligans. There we go, this is what I was thinking of right here. All right, so he's trapped, and then, what? Of course, you wuss. See, if you'd joined the NRA, that never would have happened to you. You would have known what to do in that situation. But, man, Gene Valjean's a stud. Look at that. Kicking. And then, of course, he gets outnumbered. All right, so we've got this very odd showdown right here. Is that the what's his name? Man, that is just bad news right there. That woman, man. And then you just got chaos. So how chaotic is it in the book? Like in the movie, I can imagine never seen any movies based on it. I know they're there, but man, that's got to be just a good scene in a movie. It's all chaos is breaking out. Trying to keep my language clean. And that's the guy who doesn't know how to use a gun. And then more action. So when you're a kid, when you're in first grade, man, this stuff is interesting, right? So I might have actually read a few words. Oops. And then you get some, I like this, the reserves join the infantry. The brave, oh no, that's not what I was saying. Well, I might have missed it. Where is it? Oh, okay. This happens sometimes. There's something I remember. And he has his chance. So I'm thinking, don't do it, you're gonna be betrayed. But then again, teaches morality, because you don't just, killing him like that's just murder. That's not self-defense. And then, look at that, man. And he's an old man. He's an old man at that point. The poor soldier's thinking, man, I can take this old man. Stud, man. Look at that. But then he's got to they get outnumbered. Oh, here we go. Where is it? The attackers swarm in, outnumbering the patriots 60-1. Are they really patriots? I don't know enough about history, French history anyways, to know what's going on here. Okay, I gotta read this. So this is what the cover's based on. And when you're a kid, yeah, this is a good comic book. It's not just a good comic book for the 1940s. This is a good comic book. And then, okay, so he's, that's gonna get him? No, it's not good. Okay, I was gonna say, he didn't get knocked out. All right. So he survives fighting soldiers, and then he gets hit by a rock. That would suck. All right, so he's got to take the body and see. That's pretty suspenseful. And he gets out. Oh, come on. Are you flipping serious? How does he just happen to be there? I wonder if that's explained in the novel. How he just happens to be right there. Don't you just hate that? Ugh. And then he's granted where is it? Would you please? One request. All right, good guy, I guess. Grant the request. I think he grants another one, right? To see his adopted daughter, I think. And then gets one more request. And then he's gonna turn himself in. All right. And then right when he's turned himself in, and then go, you are free. Hey, all right, good guy. And then, now I see you as a man. See, why did it take him so long to come to this conclusion? He could have saved everybody a lot of trouble if he had just come to this conclusion earlier. But then he see, this is where I thought, what a wuss. I mean, come on. I mean, I never got and maybe that's explained in the book, but he does something honorable, and then, I don't know, but then, and that's it for the ending. That seems a little abrupt. All right, so I know something's missing from that, and, I always thought that was a cop-out. Anyways, then you go from here. And then you've got the life of Victor Hugo. And, see, he also wrote the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's not Le Hunchback of Notre Dame, it's just Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I don't really give myself too much grief for saying Les Miserables. And this is cool, the Bill of Rights. This is the United States Bill of Rights. This is in French. That's kind of cool. And then, I don't know how to say that. But these classic comic books, these old classic, what's this? All right, and then the Statue of Liberty stuff. Very good. See, these classic comics, you get a lot for your money. I think. I mean, I wasn't alive back then. I don't know how good of a value that was, I'm guessing. And then you get more classic comics. And so, if you actually sat down and read the book, unlike me, looking at the pictures and just reading a few panels for references, then, but if you actually read it, you probably get a lot out of it, more so than a lot of the graphic novels that cover classic graphic novels that cover classic literature today. Now, if you have to absolutely take a test about Les Miserables, you probably want to start off by not saying Les Miserables, but maybe a classic comic book like this, plus Spark Notes, and maybe a movie might help you out, because reading the book might make you kind of miserable. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll just stop it right there. All right, bye.